Hello friends, it's Angela with To Restore You, and I was just sitting here kind of going through notes and things I wanted to be sure I shared for my live sale that's coming up next Thursday. And as I was kind of taking notes, I thought, maybe other people besides just my subscribers would like to know some of this information. So today we're going to talk about how to bid and participate in a live sale. So for me, when I first started watching live sales, and we're going to talk specifically about YouTube today, but on Instagram or Facebook or any of the other platforms, it was just a little bit intimidating. And so I had to watch a lot of live sales, and I was kind of that lurker where I never really bid, but I would watch. I'd get to know some of the folks that were doing the live sales on YouTube, and just kind of looked at some of their items and got to know kind of their niche, and it was just really fun. But I also love live auctions, like go to an auction, you've got the auctioneer and everything. And so I was itching to bid. I was just a little bit reserved in making that move. So I'm hoping that these tips will help you and, kind of get you ready. And hopefully, on October 6th, you'll participate and come and see what it's all about. And you can be a lurker. It's totally okay. But I think these might just help as you go along. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And my first piece of advice to you is to do exactly what I did. Go watch other YouTube live sales. If you see a sale and you think, oh my gosh, those are things I want to bid on, go watch others so you kind of get the lay of the land, how they work. You learn some of the lingo. You'll learn it all here, but it's good to see it live in action. And I have some, very favorites, Ariana and her mom, Kathleen, at the Withering Cottage, Sarah and David, the Traveling Button Vintage, and he is Drunk Antiques. I'm having a nice cup of hot tea. It's cold outside. Misty at Thrifter Hunter, Vintage Hunter, Michael at the Cult of Vintage, and Enamor Amy. Those are some of the ones I love watching. They also do shows together. You will learn a lot. They're fun, but it's a great place to, any one of them, they're very welcoming, and you can kind of learn how a sale goes. And that will help you so that when you are ready to bid on something you really, really want, you kind of know how a show goes. That's my first bit of advice. My second bit of advice is to be sure before you do anything else, before any live sale happens, hit subscribe. So like right now, if you are wanting to participate in our vintage ephemera and collectibles sale next week, hit the subscribe button now. If you really want to get notified, hit that notification button. Because if you are not a public subscriber, so you'll have to go into your settings on your YouTube channel and make sure you're a public subscriber, not just have a private channel. Like I had a private channel for a long time. If I wanted to then subscribe and then bid eventually, I had to have a public channel. So I hope that makes sense. If it's private, it won't show up. I mean, you won't show up in the comments or anything, and they won't get your bids. I don't even know if you can bid, actually. So that's very, very important. And the other thing is, regardless if you're just lurking and you're kind of learning, make sure that you give those folks that are doing that live video a thumbs up. It does help. If some of you are watching on a replay and it's the sale has already happened, you won't see the live comments, but go ahead and like it and make a comment on maybe one of the things that you liked. It really does help them. And I know they appreciate it, and it helps you get to know them get to know you. So they recognize you when you're ready to bid. So those are my quick tips. When you enter a live sale, so you see that somebody's advertised a live sale. It's happening today at 4 o'clock. and it pops up, you've subscribed, you've got the reminder, and you go into the live sale. One thing you will hear every one of us who does a live sale say is refresh often and make sure you're in live chat. Now, things work pretty quickly, and they're very fast. Well, they're not really fast paced, but they're fast paced enough that whoever the hosts are probably, they'll tell you that several times, but they're not going to tell you how. So let me explain how to refresh your screen so that you are as on track and not lagging with what is going on in the show, because that will affect your bid. You'll hear all the time people saying, we've got a big lag. That means that your comments aren't getting to them quite as quickly, or they'll all come in at the same time. So to refresh your screen, you're looking at your, whether it's your iOS device, your iPad, a whatever, computer, on any iOS device. If you just simply close out of that video, and I'm talking about shut it down like you've decided to stop watching it, then open it back up. It's the X on the side to close it out. Then go back to your videos or your history, open it back up, and you should be on track at that point. To make sure you're in live chat, and I'm not really sure I don't even know what top chat is, but if you're looking at the comments, that would be on, if you're looking at the screen on the right-hand side, at the very, very top, it will say top chat or live chat. You want to be in live chat. If you aren't, and it says top chat, to the right of that, and I know this is backwards as you're looking at it, you'll see some little lines. Click on those lines, and you should have two choices, top chat or live chat. Go to live chat. So those two things will help make sure that you're in real time, and that when you do decide to bid, it's going through as quickly as it possibly can. YouTube says there's a lag of about sometimes 10 seconds, and from the live sales that I've bid on and participated in or just watched, sometimes it can be longer. So you want to always make sure of those two things. One way you can tell if you're at the very current location of that video is right on the video, directly below it is kind of a thin red line, and it should be all the way to the end of that video box. So that kind of tells you you're at the most current moment. So those are just some helpful tips so that when you are ready to bid and you're really excited about it, that you've done your due diligence to make sure that it goes through as quickly as possible so you can be the winning bidder. Because I promise you, those people on the back end, the hosts, the moderators, are all doing as much as they possibly can to ensure that it is real time and the lags are as, few and far between, but it happens. So if you've done all of those things, and it's not hard. You can watch, you can do that, you can refresh many times. So you should be ready to go. Now, one thing you will see in comments is oftentimes you will hear your host ask for somebody to be a bid ender. That is someone that is going to physically type bid end at the end of each item. They're also oftentimes moderators. So what they will have is their color is usually a blue color, and it will have a wrench on that. They're also the folks that will answer questions if your host can't at the moment. So, if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask it, because someone will, if you've got moderators, some of the other, the other folks participating will answer questions for you too. And it's just kind of a cool community to be a part of. So don't be afraid to ask questions, maybe if it's about the item or if something is, just any question, do that. It's a good thing. And it also gives you an opportunity to kind of interact and communicate. So now let's talk about lingo. So what I'd like you to think about is, think about a live sale, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, and we're talking about YouTube today. Think about it no different than if you've ever been to a physical auction. Much of the lingo is very much the same. So what will happen is you will have, let's just say, oh, I was going to get props and I was just sitting here having my tea. The host will have X amount of items, or hosts, and they will offer it up for bid for you to bid on. They will put in a starting price. So let's just say this pumpkin here. So they may put it up at, here's this pumpkin. This pumpkin is going to start at a bid of $20. And that is the minimum bid. So then you can start bidding for that pumpkin. Others will bid against you, so on and so forth. It's one item, and you're bidding for only that one item, and that one item starts at $20. Easy enough, right? You may also hear them say, or hear us say, I've got a quick claim or a quick grab. That is one item. Let's say the pumpkin again. We'll just use the pumpkin until we need more items to go with it. So I have a pumpkin, and I am going to do a quick claim, and that means that I'm putting this up for bid for $15. And then you will hear your host say, when I'm going to give you a number, a letter, a word, whatever. And the first person that types that number, letter, word in will win this beautiful pumpkin for, what did I say, $15. So I might say, the first person that types in the word fall is the recipient of this pumpkin. If you want this pumpkin, fast fingers. So type in the word fall. Fairest way to do it, the first person that pops up that has put in the word fall wins that quick claim or quick grab, if you will. So there's your first two. Easy peasy. Now, you also might hear people say, I have a lot. Or if you are familiar with the auction world, they would say, okay, this is everything for one money. So a lot is a grouping of things. And most of the time they'll say things like, that means you get all three or all four. So let's just say the lot included everything on this table. So you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 items on this table. That is a lot, and it's going to start, everything on this table is going to start at a bid of $30. And then you're bidding on everything on this table. And if you're the successful bidder, your host will package it up beautifully and figure out your shipping, and you will pay, which we'll talk about payment in just a minute. And it will be on its merry way to your new home. So that is a lot, or all for one money, if you will. All right, so we did lots, we did quick claim, and we did your regular bidding. Now, there's another option. So I have these three, well, I can't reach the other one. I have 3 pumpkins here. You are going to bid on choice of whichever pumpkin you most want to have in your life. So you're bidding, and we'll just say, to make it easy, we're going to start the bid at $10. So you're bidding based on the fact that maybe, you know, I've got the pink pumpkin, the shabby chic pumpkin, and this glittery pumpkin, and you really want this glittery pumpkin. So while other people might be bidding on the pink pumpkin and the shabby chic pumpkin, you need to set an amount that you want to go up to. So make sure that you have your limit, and now start bidding. And if you're the highest bidder, and this is the pumpkin you want, this is the pumpkin you're going to get. And then, you know, they'll go through the process. Okay, the next person that came in, their bid was this. You know, you wanted this pumpkin. Does anybody want shabby chic or pink? And then they'll just kind of go down the line of the bids, and depending on what that bid is, and they'll walk you through it. You don't have to worry about it. Just know to set your limit on whichever item you want, and then bid up to whatever you're comfortable with. And then if you're the winning bidder, you get first choice. You may be second or third down the line because you were outbid, but maybe somebody else really wanted shabby chic pumpkin and you wanted the cute little glittery pumpkin. You can still win. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. We did choice. A couple other things. One is the pick 2 or pick 3. So in my upcoming sale, I have some things for mixed media and artists and, you know, just crafts kind of folks and junk journalists. So I have some tins, you know, like what do you call those things? Cupcake tins. And there are beads in them, you know, various grouping of beads of different colors. So what we would do in this case is I would put out this offering. I think that there's 6 different options in one tin. And I would say this is for a pick 2. So I'm going to start the bidding at $4. And you start bidding. You're bidding on a choice of 2 of those things. So you don't just get the pink ones or the green ones, you get, or the red ones. You get 2, whatever colors you want. And then we take those out and then we can add 2 more to it. And we just do that. I have 2 tins full until everything is gone or no one wants them anymore. So a pick 2 or a pick 3 is you're bidding one amount, but you're getting 3 items from a choice of a whole lot of things. Make sense? And you guys feel free to ask questions in the comments because I really want all of my subscribers to understand that this is not hard, and I want them to be able to come to my live shows and all of those folks and others that I watch that are out there too. So feel free to ask questions because I know it will help others, not just yourself. So okay, and then the last one that I will share. Now, I've seen this a lot. I've seen it called a different thing. I know Michael and Misty do this on their shows that they do together, but they do what they call a 5 and dime. And it could be anything, but I think 5 and dime is the easiest way to explain it. So the hosts pick, you know, X amount of items. In this case, 5 items. Every one of those items is going to go up for sale for $10, thus 5 and dime. It's called other things in different live sales, but depending on who the hosts are, I hear 5 and dime a lot. So I have my first item up is, of my 5 items, is this pumpkin, and it is $10. So you're bidding on that one pumpkin. And then maybe the next host will put up something. In my live sale, it's just gonna be me this first time. But they'll go back and forth, so on and so forth. So the next one might be the cloche with the little baby pumpkins in it. Bidding is $10, and it's, you know, they may do it, the first person that puts in 10, they may give a number, a letter, again, a word. It's up to the host, but basically they're selling X amount of items, in this case 5. Each of those items is going to be $10. You're bidding on each one of those items, so you either want it or you don't. Easy peasy, easy peasy. All right, so you found stuff you want to bid on, and your hosts are explaining a little bit more about it. They're answering questions. They do this for a few minutes, and then they will say, we're going to start the countdown. That countdown is the amount of time. It would be like, well, I won't do it because I cannot be an auctioneer, but when they, you know, do their little cadence, and then they say going once, going twice, sold. This is the equivalent in the virtual world of that. So they might start at 20 or 15, most start at 15 seconds, and they'll just say 15, 14, 13, 12, and all the way down to bid end. At which point, the person that they have designated as their bid ender, which could be you, they oftentimes will look for people to just be the bid ender if you want to. Gosh, I don't want to scare you. By the way, thank you, Jeannie. My bestie is going to, from Arizona, is going to be my bid ender for my first sale. So once that bid end happens, the highest bid wins. Now, that's pretty straightforward, but there's also something called just in case. So I call this my BATNA, my best, alternative to negotiated agreement, kind of the same thing. But what is the most I would possibly pay for it? So let's just say this pumpkin. Let's say my top dollar for this pumpkin is $100. Okay, so people are bidding on it. I've bid on it. When that countdown starts, you have the opportunity, if they're doing just in case. Some channels and hosts do not, so they'll tell you that. But they may say, get in your just in case now. That means that if somewhere between that 15 and 0 seconds, somebody outbids you, you have your very top dollar, what's the highest that you will pay for that item. So let's say the bidding was at $50. My host counts it down as starting at 15, and I go, I really want that shabby chic pumpkin. So I am going to bid $100. All right. Bid end, they have the just in cases. So I bid $100, but somebody really wanted it more than me, and their bid was $110. This is where your just in case can turn into an actual bid. That person that bid 50 is out because I put in a bid of 100 and somebody else put in a bid of 110. So that person that bid 110 brings home this beautiful pumpkin. And the only reason I tell you it that way is that your just in case can turn into a real bid. So if, let's say that bid was $50, they start counting it down. I put in my bid of 100, no one else, or just in case of 100, no one else puts a bid in. I actually get that pumpkin for $1 over what the highest bid was, in this case, $50. So I get that for $51, and now it's mine. But beware that if you have other just in cases, you're going to get it for whatever your highest dollar is. So pick that number in your head and stick to it. From a bidding perspective, I will tell you, I am probably not the best person to give you advice because I do sometimes get wrapped up in it, and sometimes I may pay more, usually when I'm at a live auction because I get the adrenaline going, but it's easy to do is what I'm saying. So just be aware of that, write that number down that you're not gonna go past, and then stick to it. So just in case you may have questions for me, and please ask. If I don't know the answer, I will tag somebody or find one of those experts that I watch that I'm sure will be happy to help you because they're amazing. So let's see. I mean, you might have certain channels that you watch and hosts that do things a little bit differently, but overall, those are the basics. Now, here's how a lot of hosts do their winnings. How are you going to pay? What are you going to do once you've won that bid? I will tell you how I am going to do it. I am pretty much following those that I have been watching for a long time. They don't know it, but they're like my mentors. I watch and I'm like, okay, that seems to work for them. I think I'll do that. PayPal is very popular to use as a payment method. It is because there's a buyer guarantee, there's seller guarantees. It is safe, it's secure, and so a lot of people, including myself, use PayPal. The first question that always comes up is, well, I don't have a PayPal account. It is okay. The invoice can still be sent from me if I am the host to you, the winner of this pretty pumpkin, and you can sign in as a guest and pay your invoice. Not to worry. But it is extremely important as soon as you bid on one item, and you only have to do it once for each, you only have to do it really once, but sometimes if you haven't bid on anything, like you watch someone's sales a lot and then you haven't bid on something, you might have to send the information again, or just do it just as a courtesy. They would rather have that than not. So what you need to send to your host, and they'll have their emails up there, you email them. In my case, I would like in in the header, live sale and the date, because that way I can search spam, because some things do go to spam, and that's just why I do that. And then you want to include your full name, your shipping address with a correct zip code. The zip code is the most important. Your PayPal email, if you have PayPal, the email you use to sign in with PayPal. For example, I think I've changed mine to my business email. So if I've bid on things in the past, I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to have to put my information in again. So the email that I use to sign into PayPal, if you have an account, otherwise just your normal email. And then your YouTube channel name. And that's just so your host can cross-reference. So as they're going, you'll probably see them writing things down. They're putting your YouTube channel name, and so when they get your information, they can go, okay, that's who that is, and this is what they bought. And it's very simple. They, in turn, will send out an invoice anytime from right after the sale, usually no more than 24 hours or so after the sale. And they do expect you to pay your invoice within 48 hours of receipt of that, unless they tell you differently in their live sale. So, if somebody's going on vacation, they'll say, I'm sending invoices immediately after the sale. If it isn't paid and, by whatever time, so that they can get everything wrapped and shipped, it won't go out until I'm back from my vacation to Tahiti next week. So, they'll tell you those kind of things. But I'm going to say this again because I think it's really important. And all you need to do is look on your screen. Your host's emails will be there from whoever you bought it from, if there's more than one host. And you're going to send an email. And for me, I like live sale and the date that the sale was. And in my case, it's October 6th. Your full name, your shipping address with the correct zip code, your PayPal email, if it's different from the email you're sending it from. I would just put it in there anyway. Be safe. Or say, I'll be checking out as a guest, and your YouTube channel name. And anything else you feel like your hosts need to know about when they ship to you. So that's it. I hope that was helpful, and I hope to see you at my live sales. I hope to see you at other sales that I participate in, because they're really a lot of fun. And that's what I'll leave you with. Don't feel that you need to bid. If you're just kind of getting the hang of it, lurk all you want. Lurkers are fun, but say hi if you want. I mean, I love to let people know I'm there, even though I'm probably not going to be able to bid that day. Or I listen a lot. I don't watch, but I listen a lot when I'm driving, and because live sales tend to be longer, and so it makes my drive go faster, but I can't really bid, which I wish that I could do on some occasions. So it's okay to lurk. I know that whether it's on a live sale or otherwise, we all as YouTubers love your comments. We love to hear from you. We love to hear what you're interested in. That you're communicating with other people that are on the live. It's kind of heartwarming, because it really is a cool community, and you get to know a lot of people from across the globe. So it's very, very cool. And the last thing I would say is just have fun, and don't forget to set your limit for each item, because that will be important. I don't want anybody to have buyer's remorse, whether it's on my sale or someone else's. So I hope you have learned a lot. If you have questions, put them in the comments. And hopefully we'll see you all on October 6th at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time with Jeannie and I, as I host my first live sale. I've got everything set up, so I hope to see you there. Take care, everybody, and until next time, remember to take time to just be. Cheers.